Okay, there have been so many icks and cliche hinge profile prompts and picture trends on Instagram that guys do to turn girls off. I'm so curious about the flip side. Are there little mannerisms girls have that we don't think about? What about the most common things you'll see on a dating profile that we think are quirky and unique but aren't? Edit. I'm getting criticized so much for just using the word ick. I was just looking for the male equivalent. But yikes. I guess it's safe to say men don't have it, and maybe it's a privilege to say women even get to. Story 1. My kids come first, so if you can't handle that, swipe left. Like, yeah, lady, that should be unsaid. I've never once seen a woman's profile say, forget these kids, come pick me up. Also, profiles that say they're looking for an honest man, yet every single photo is filtered to the point where she looks like a cartoon. Story 2. When they say, not sure why I'm here, might delete this profile later. Like, yeah, sure, girl. You pretending to not look desperate ironically makes you look even more desperate. Like, why would you even bother writing that? Another one is when they say, won't reply to messages here. Follow me on my Instagram. Like, at that point, you're not even trying to be subtle about having more followers on Instagram and wasting men's time on apps. Story 3. People trying to hide their weight. I get it comes from a place of insecurity or fear of judgment, but ultimately, if you meet up, the other person is going to see what you look like anyway. Usually, it's a selfie holding the camera up with arms extended forward so they are cut off or just floating heads. The other person is either going to be okay with your size or not. When I choose my photos, I make a point of picking photos that show all of me, and I then take confidence that if the other person wants a date, they like me as I am. Story 4. I don't understand women who say they are not here to play games, but their photos are so filtered that you have no idea what they actually look like. Also, why are you putting pictures of your kids on your dating profile? Story 5. If a majority of the profile is about what they do not like, really, this is your introduction to the dating world? Is this what you want to be defined by, a laundry list of negatives? I do not need to be burdened with that. Just say what you like, and we can figure out the rest. Story 6. The princess treatment, self-infantilizing nonsense. It's almost always paired with the spoil me and provide for me types that I find equally unattractive. Also, the whole negative attitude of don't bother talking to me if you can't hold a good conversation. You're the common denominator in your conversations. If it smells like trash everywhere you go, maybe it's time to check the bottom of your own shoes. Story 7. If you cannot handle my worst, you do not deserve my best. I have come to learn this simply means either I have no best, I am always a train wreck, or I have no best, I am always a terrible person. Story 8. Use their kids as a profile picture. I don't want to date your kids. Also, do you want to date a pedophile? Because that's how you end up dating a pedophile. Story 9. If I see this, I'm selfish, impatient, and a little insecure. I make mistakes, I'm out of control, and at times hard to handle. But if you cannot handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell do not deserve me at my best. Story 10. Haven't been on dating sites in a while, but dog mom. Any list of demands like take her here and there, do this, do that, you must be this, that. When the list disqualifies, no time wasters, cheaters, etc. Also, I know my worth. It all comes off as a lecture and just a sign she's maybe been through a lot. Story 11. Looking for friends. I've been told it's used to test the waters, gauge interest, not come across as too desperate. It's just confusing to me though, so I'd never match with those profiles on a dating app. With the important caveat that it's fine if they're actually genuinely looking for friends, I still think it's odd to do that on a dating app though. Story 12. This might be a spicy take, but if you have looking for a provider in your profile, it's an immediate swipe left. I'm not trying to get into a relationship so someone can take care of me or to be someone's ATM or worker bee. Call me crazy, but relationships should be partnerships. Share the load and let teamwork make the dream work. Story 13. I love food, coffee, and traveling. 90% of women's bios. The rest have some passive-aggressive text implying that she looks down on you as a starting point. Story 14. We don't have major dislikes really. But there are things we notice that we don't tend to like. Empty profiles that say nothing, love to travel, love to have fun, etc. Sure, because who doesn't? Again, who are you exactly? Instagram dog filters, etc. I am looking for a girl, not a canine friend. Only group pictures. I don't like to say this, but if you only have group pictures, we kind of assume you are the least attractive one. Pictures that only make her look good but don't tell us much about her hobbies, what kind of job she has, etc. Again, who are you? How are we supposed to know if we would be a good match if I know literally nothing about you? Cringe quotes that make you look worse. If you can't handle me at translation, there is no best. There is only worst. Anything involving astrology. 99 out of 100 times it's used to excuse bad behavior. Story 15. 25 has kids, know my worth, 6 feet and up please. Absolutely no Scorpios. Pictures are all partying or at electronic dance music festivals. Don't forget 2,000 plus Instagram followers. Story 16. Girls who describe themselves as queens. Do they think other people are peasants? How will they treat their man? Girls who say they don't like lots of drama. If your life is filled with drama, and the common point is you, then it's you who is the dramatist. Girls who think it's my job to entertain them while they give one-word replies. Girls who stare at other guys while they are out on a date with you, and may even follow them with their eyes while they are in the midst of talking to you. Literally mouth open talking to me while their eyes are following another guy around the room. Girls who tell me what jerks their exes are. Yes, some exes are, but if all your exes are jerks, then the real jerk is probably you. Girls who claim to believe in equality but at the same time don't want to work and think men should pay for everything. Story 17. Any profile talking about how she is looking for friends on a dating app might mention wanting a provider, which can suggest financial instability. When they talk about how there are no good guys, it often indicates underlying issues. Profiles with too many hotel pictures or statements like, "I'm a lot to handle," or "I am the table," are self-explanatory. Story 18. Oh man, so many. My biggest strength is talking a lot. I'm known for being a Division 1 talker. Dating me is like the stock market. High risk, high reward. First round is on me if I would never say this. My greatest strength is fostering men until they find their new homes. My irrational fear is men. Why you should not go out with me. If you hate Taylor Swift, I'll fall for you if you're obsessed with me. Now tell me, giving me the advice of comment on her profile on a dating app, how the hell do I respond to any of these without it being generic? For pictures, men get criticized for poor mirror selfies and generic photos. The number of profiles I see with just selfies in a bikini or two-piece taking mirror selfies is insane. Group photos with 6 of your friends. I could go on. Story 19. When they answer the first round is on me if prompt with "I would never say this." Then why pick that prompt? There are literally dozens of others you could have chosen instead. Story 20. No clue what's going on with these dating apps. I haven't been on one since the first month Tinder was introduced. So, I'd have to say just everything in list-type format. I don't need to know your hobbies, your preferred drink, or what you look for in a man, etc. in your bio. I'd like to find that out in a conversation or message, combined with some cool pictures that you find cool and interesting, same as with some of us guys in our fishing pictures. Unfiltered, of you having fun doing activities with friends, dancing, and so on. So we can actually have a conversation and find out each other's vibe and connection if we click. Oh, I saw your hiking picture. Where was it? What was your favorite hike or climb? Let's go together. Dancing picture. Looks like you had fun dancing, I assume salsa? Do you do it often? Depending on the conversation and vibe. Can you show me or teach me? And so on. Am I the weirdo for finding it strange to see a whole list of her describing herself and what she wants? That's shopping for a partner and not finding and falling in love. Although it possibly makes it easier for both, I'm 99% not what you want according to your list. However, it also eliminates possibilities of opposites attract and weird coupling, but their vibe and relationship and how they treat and respect each other is immaculate. You'll know what couples I'm talking about. The ones where everyone scratches their heads, asking how? But they're in love and perfect for each other centuries later too. Story 21. Surprisingly, nobody has said it, but if you don't meet insert requirement here, swipe left. I already feel like I'm auditioning for women's time on dating apps, and saying it makes it feel even more so. Don't tell me what you aren't looking for. Tell me what you are. Also, about height requirements. If you ask for my height, I'm asking for your breast size. 6 feet is the exception, ladies, not the rule. Plus, having a specific height requirement makes it feel like you're more looking for a model for Instagram rather than an actual relationship. Story 22. One duck face, kissy face, tongue out laugh, eyes crossed is fine. It's common enough that it's like saying, I am aware of social trends and am doing this half ironically. It's not funny or quirky. It's not bad. Just neutral. If every picture is some variant of that, or it's one poorly lit picture of that, they're a pick-me. I think I had to Google pick-me, and I think it works. Story 23. If they list traveling as a hobby, odds are all they do when they travel is take pictures for social media and go shopping at places they could visit at home. If you don't travel as much, it might be a test to find out if you're wealthy enough to travel frequently and could probably spoil them. If it's their only hobby, it probably doesn't mean they are an interesting person. Story 24. Girls who use only headshots to hide their body size, or in one case when she was in a wheelchair. She came on strong, then eventually told me, don't worry, I have you covered. I am in an electric wheelchair. I give good head. Story 25. They list travel as their favorite hobby or say they're looking for a travel buddy. They're saying, I want someone wealthy, with different words. I'm sure that's not true for every profile that mentions it, but the vast majority are using that to filter for wealth and potentially high-level employment. Can't travel without money and time after all, and whether they've ever even been out of state, they're still going to scoff at a man who can't or won't take them to Europe, etc. Story 26. Putting your children in every photo you are trying to date strangers. Why bring your children into it? Just mention in the bio that you are a mother and leave the rest for the getting to know someone part. Story 27. If you have kids, I'm swiping left. I don't want my own and I don't want yours. Anyone who has a giant list of things they don't want clearly seems like they aren't over someone else. Looking for my partner in crime sounds obscenely boring. Pictures of petting a tiger or riding an elephant make me deeply uncomfortable. Any discussion of how much money I need to be making implies you're broke and telling on yourself. I'm not your caregiver. Any sign of smoking is the worst smell in the world. Filters. Just show me what you look like. Any mention of an ex. Any pictures of you in Dubai. For some reason, people who go to Dubai seem like a red flag to me, and I can't figure out why. Story 28. What is the fastest way to your heart? Or some question along the lines of that. Give me food. Bring me something to eat. Fancy dinner. Even if she's possibly a gourmet or a foodie, it really comes off as off-putting. Like her only personality trait is that she likes food and possibly even comes across as someone fishing for a free meal. Story 29. Some women use presumably old relationship photos as their profile pictures, so you get to see the woman in the loving arms of another man, which is an instant swipe. Story 30. Actually, I got another. You must be able to hold a conversation with me. See, it's true that some people are just bad communicators, but the problem is, people who say this on dating sites are usually bad communicators themselves. And what they actually mean is, you need to do all the talking while I respond with one-word answers when and if I feel like it. This isn't a case of, I'm great at talking, you had better be too. This is a case of, I'm bad at talking, and you had better not be or else we're both in trouble. It's the sort of thing people put on their profile after they keep having failed conversations with people that go nowhere, and think it's everyone else's problem, without ever noticing the common denominator in all of these conversations was themselves. And sure enough, if you try to talk to them, you'll get absolutely nowhere. What do you like to do for fun? Stuff. What kind of stuff? You know, things. Okay. Do you like to travel? No. Do you like sports? Yeah. What kind of sports? All of them. Story 31. I don't criticize people for their weight. None of us are perfect, and I think that body positivity is important. That being said, I definitely find it really suspicious when a girl only has close-up selfies and doesn't include any full-body pictures. It implies that she might be trying to hide her weight or something. Guys do this too, by the way. It's funny, especially when we try to angle our face to make it look like we have a chiseled jawline. Story 32. I want a real man. No, you want a dad who you also have sex with, same as the younger guys who act like their girlfriend is their mom. It's one thing to say you're traditional. It's another to play up your supposed femininity, in this case, just so that you don't have to put any effort in. Story 33. Not icks, but things that just show minimal effort or that are obvious. I want someone that makes me laugh. What human doesn't? My simple pleasures: food, travel, wine. Not simple pleasures in my book, just things most people like. Anyone sticking their tongue out. Story 34. Here for a good time, not a long time. Always down for spontaneous adventures. It's way more of a risk to be genuine on dating apps, but these answers don't tell anyone anything about you. They might as well be blank. I'm way more likely to interact with a profile that has at least a little bit of thought or an attempt at humor in it. Story 35. Definitely certain single mother statements like, my kids always come first. They're my whole world. I'm sorry, but being a mother isn't a get out of responsibility card if you want a partner in your life. Yes, it's going to be hard to balance that with being a parent. It's tough, but I don't deserve less because you had a child with someone you didn't particularly care to be with. Your kids will come first sometimes. Probably most times. I'm not blind to that. But you still have to try to make me feel included and wanted in your life, and not just when it's convenient for you.